Trump's health is worse than what they are telling you, worse than what he is saying. So we can start out by discussing what he's dealing with. Now, they listed as chronic venous insufficiency. You've seen photos of his hands, spots on his hand. You've seen photos of his ankle swelling. They're stating that it is an inadequate blood flow in the legs. And of course, when the blood pools in the legs, it makes the ankle swell up. So in other words, his heart is not pumping blood around his body fast enough to move it from his extremities. Any of you folks that may have been over-the-road drivers, I once was, when you sit for long periods of time, it can happen to an over-the-road driver as well. You've been driving for 10 hours straight. You look down, your ankles and shit are all swole up because the blood is pooled in your legs, which is why some people wear diabetic socks and things like that. So why are we saying that Trump's health is actually worse than what the media is telling you? Fact is, Trump is known for giving rosy examples of what things really are like. I'm going to start out by bringing up the pandemic. Remember, Trump had to be rushed to Walter Reed Hospital during the pandemic when he caught COVID. Now, he was on television delivering a strong front, making it look as though he was just going for some kind of minor observation or was going to go for minor treatment. It turns out he was in really bad shape. His oxygen levels were in the 80s, and they later released that. They later released that information. Chris Christie, who also had a serious bout, I believe he was in intensive care for a week, is what Chris Christie stated. And he also admitted that Trump was painting a rosy picture when he was really in bad shape. That's the reason they had to rush him to Walter Reed. And even though his oxygen levels were really low, you've seen him walk to the helicopter. He walked to Marine One. Trump is a fighter. I'm not going to take that away from him. You see him during the assassination attempt. He steps up and goes fight, 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 not even being for certain if the assassin is taken out or not. So I'm not going to say the guy takes advice and does things right, but I am going to say that he does often exaggerate what is reality and paints a rosy picture. And I'm going to give you a whole laundry list of shit. Starting from when he first came on the scene, the doctor who gave him his original analysis of cognitive abilities and things like that later testified that Trump actually wrote his own diagnosis and the doctor signed it. I don't know if that gives the doctor any credibility for letting Trump do that. But nevertheless, everything from his school grades, why he didn't serve in the draft, all of this stuff, he's always painted a rosy picture. He came on the scene saying he was a very wealthy man worth $15 billion. I believe Forbes and many others have stated that that was flat out false. Obviously, when he took the mugshot photo, his dimensions, his height, his weight were clearly way the hell off. In addition to the largest inauguration size in U.S. history, and even recently suggesting that he obliterated Iran's nuclear program. The point I'm getting at is Trump exaggerates. And he does that health-wise, and he does that on himself as well. He exaggerates. So whatever picture Trump is painting, if it's in his benefit to make it look significantly better than it actually is, you can expect him to do that. And my guess is, to prevent folks from starting to maybe look into a replacement or to create all sorts of news articles and shit revolving around his health, he's going to paint a picture that his health is okay. He is almost 80 years old. You don't see people talking about heart issues for an 80-year-old and saying, well, that's not that big of an issue. Obviously, Trump is not in good shape. Coming from a fellow American that's not in good shape myself, but I'm nowhere near fucking 80 years old. But legs swelling, hands with all sorts of, he's literally using makeup to cover spots on his hand. Who does that? Who does some shit like that? I would suggest just wear some damn gloves or stay out of the public light for a minute if you don't want to have the spots on your hands seen. But when you're starting to put makeup over marks on your hands and things like that, you realize the situation is becoming problematic. And I'm going to submit to you that the Epstein controversy is probably not helping him get sleep at night. Trump cares about his legacy. Fact is, the man cares about how he will go down in history. And the last thing the man wants to do is go down in history as a serial pedophile. So he's going to fight all he can to make sure that those rumors do not grow legs. Right now, it does not look like he's winning that battle. But this isn't a video about Epstein. We'll talk about that in another time. We're talking about the likelihood that Trump's health is worse than what he is telling you. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you trust what Trump is saying in regards to this matter as almost a guy that's almost 80 years old with these ailments, with his visual appearance where he's obviously out of shape? You know what he eats? He loves McDonald's. Do you trust that what he tells you, with a history of exaggeration like that guy has, that he's telling you the truth? My guess is there is no one around Trump, including medical professionals, that would tell you the truth about Trump's health if he doesn't want it to come out. If he doesn't want you to know, he's going to threaten the doctor that might tell it and find a doctor that'll say what he wants to say. That's been Trump's entire time in the White House. He's finding people that are going to say and do what he wants to be said and done, even if it goes against maybe the public's best interest. Obviously, the Epstein case is a perfect example of that. Everyone wants the information, and he has found people to say that the information does not exist. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? You think that Trump is actually doing just fine and his legs are just swelling up and it's a temporary issue? Or do you see it the way I do, with Trump's history of exaggerating things and painting a rosy picture, that he may be worse off than he's letting on? As always, feel free to smash that like button. Subscribe to the damn channel. Click the notification bell. See you in the next video.